Hey, this is Luke with Solid Strong, and just wanted to share a leader hack for catching big fish on light tackle. We call this the dirty Deeks rig. I actually learned this from Captain Peter Deeks, and he uses this for live bait, and really he specializes in catching just big trophy fish on live bait. And this is a trick that he's done to help make sure that fish can't see or feel the line while there's still enough power in the lines to handle big fish. And what it involves is what you're looking at here. It's basically just right before the lure, have a section that has strong enough line to handle the fish. And so the leader that we're looking at right now is what I've been using lately for fishing early morning hours, where I get out there early. This is the time where the bigger fish are most likely going to strike. And I have a 30-pound tippet at the end, where this is a 30-pound tippet. I have about 6 to 8 inches of 30-pound line at the end. This is the section that is most likely going to get damaged while fighting a fish. And then I have the top part of the leader much smaller. In this case, it's 20, but in other cases, I go down to 15, even 12, sometimes lower. So this is, again, just a smart way to make sure that you still get strikes even when the water's clear and the fish get picky, but you still have the power needed at the business end to actually land the big fish once you get them to strike. So what I'll do is I'll show you how to tie this. It's really just one easy knot for this this line to line. It's just this is the best knot that I found. It is very strong. Also, it doesn't have any snags. You can see it's nice and streamlined. But as far as line sizes, right, if you're going to be using this, if you're in snook territory, especially big snook, you need to have at least a 30-pound mono. I do recommend mono for snooks. Mono has proven to be much more abrasive resistant than fluoro. So for that reason, I really like mono for this business end. But again, snook, I would say 25, if not 30 pounds. If you're just going after redfish and trout, then you can have a 20-pound tippet and then go down to either a 15 or even 10-pound main leader, right? The top part of the leader. This is going to be much thinner. The fish are not going to be able to see it nor feel it nearly as well as having the full strand of thicker leader. And as I said before, right, now you have this business end that is all beefed up, ready to handle the extra abrasion that the fish is most likely going to apply to this last bit of line. All right, so now how to tie the knot involved with this. It's called the blood knot. Very easy knot. Most importantly, it is strong and very streamlined. And so we have the two lines here. This over here in my right hand, this is the tippet. This is the stronger tippet. Over here in the left is the weaker line. This is the main leader. And so what I like to do is just have one in each hand, and I'll just crisscross them and purposely leave an angle. So we're gonna work on this side first. This is the thinner line. This is, in this case, a 20-pound line. So we're gonna wrap around the leader 5 times. So the thinner line goes around 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, do one more. Sorry, this one's getting a little bit convoluted. I have a camera in my face. So I would go around 5 times, and then I go through that hole, through that gap, and I pinch it, right? Pinch it into place. And so now we have the leader. Let me get this out of the way and clear it. Now we have this leader section that is pushing out, and this is the main line. And so with the leader, we're going to go around the other part of the leader, right? This is the leader tippet around the main leader. We're going to do that 4 times. So the thicker one, I do 4. The thinner one, I do 5. And now we go through this middle section. We go the opposite direction, right? Earlier, I went from in and out. Now I'm going from the opposite way, back forward. That being said, it doesn't really matter all that much. It just looks a lot cleaner doing it this way. And so what we do is we now just pull it a little bit tight just to keep these tag ends from looping around. And so what I recommend doing now is using some saliva or getting it wet. This is actually something I don't actually do for many knots, but this is one where you definitely need to have it because we need these coils to cinch down really nice and neat against one another. All right, so it's locked and loaded. So I'm just gonna grab these lines nice and tight and just do a nice quick cinch down. And you can see that knot, it just formed nice and neat. And we have the tags going one on top, one on the bottom. And now that it's super cinched, right, we can see that these coils are all nice and tight. We now can cut these extremely close. You can get whatever scissors or clippers you use and get in there as close as you can. Just make sure you don't nick your main line. And we can cut off that one. Now we're gonna cut off the other. And then this knot will be ready to rock. So here's the finished knot, right? Nice and super strong. It doesn't have any snags, so it'll go through weeds without snagging anything. All right, so we have the knot, and so the final step is just to tie on the lure to finish off the leader, the business end of the leader. So I like a loop knot. I highly recommend loop knots for lures. And so I just use the non-slip loop knot, which is you use just tie this quick overhand knot. Don't tighten it down. Now we can put whatever lure we want. In this case, it'll be the Power Prawn USA. This has been my go-to lately. So put that in there, take the tag end through that loop, cinch it tight, get it close to the top of the lure, pinch it with my fingers of the left hand, and then with this tag end, we just go around the leader 2 times. So simple as that, 2 times, and then go through that loop that we created. So you can tag in going through that loop. Again, very easy knot. This takes about 10 to 15 seconds when you're used to it, and then tighten it down, and now we have a nice loop knot that is very strong. It's going to let these lures get full freedom of motion, and the fact that we have this business end set up so that when we get a 40-inch snook, big old snook that hits this lure, we now have the protection we need close to the lure while we have this top part of the leader nice and thin so that these big smart fish can't see it nor feel it. And so last but not least, you might be wondering, okay, what knot to use to have the braid to leader, the top part of leader. For that, I recommend the FG knot. This is a more complex knot. So I'll just put a link down below to the video so you can see how to tie it. So given how awesome this FG knot is and how many people struggle with it, I wanted to just do some extra due diligence and show you the exact video to use to make sure to tie it consistently strong and make it super easy. So this is the webpage. It's just FG knot. You can Google it and come to saltstrong.com, but this is the page you need to go to. And here's a look at the knot. It is incredibly thin. It's the thinnest knot possible. Most importantly, it is super strong. It spreads the load across all these coils very evenly, and it results in the strongest break that I've found so far. It is absolutely awesome. It totally crushes way more popular knots like the double uni knot, the crazy Alberto. I mean, you name it, all those popular knots are about 20% or more weaker than this. So here it is. This is the method. This is called the pinky method. Make sure to watch this video and you'll be tying the FG knot very easily, very quickly, and it'll be consistently strong. And in case needed, you actually have a PDF that you can download where you can have a free download just to make sure that you have picture tutorials on walking through the most important steps. But as you see, when you actually tie it, it's really easy once you do it a few times. So I would recommend just watch this video, do it a few times, and you'll be able to easily do it out on the water on your next trips. And if you're new to Salt Strong, make sure to check out the Fishing Club. This is really where we have the best of the best information. We have amazing software to help make sure that you find the fish super fast, and you have access to great discounts. We have over 38,000 members now, so a lot of group discounts, so you can save a ton of money on all the tackle you need. And when you have your access, you'll have full access to this dashboard where you have smart fishing spots, smart fishing tides, the insider community, just a wealth of information that is here at your fingertips. So thank you so much for your time and watching. Any questions at all, comment down below. Otherwise, hope to see you again soon.